Tommy's recap of the Summit of Greatness with Lewis Howes, September 7th to the 10th.
And I'm going to upload this on the podcast. So if you're seeing this, then you're already on the podcast or YouTube or Facebook. So it all starts out at this gate 12. It's on the way to Summit of Greatness. This right here. And gate 12, landing in Columbus, Ohio, via that plane right there, right? That plane right there. So I'm there, and greeting as they come in. Here's all the speakers. They're a little blurry right there. I think I did a little better one, but there's the speakers of the Summit of Greatness 2023. And we arrive at the back lawn for a big welcome networking party. No sound, but I don't think you need sound. There's dancing, there's networking, there's meeting. I'm looking at the video here, and here's another clip as well. I can blow this up here. Dancing and just start to cut loose, start to break down those walls, right? Just break them down. So it all started here, sitting on the wing, flying Southwest, got my book in hand, reading on the plane and everything. There was like crazy blue lighting on that plane. It was crazy. And I discovered something after the last time I flew was in 2019, was my first Summit of Greatness. That was the last time I flew, and since then you can connect and you get free actual internet when you connect to the Wi-Fi, and you can text and everything using iMessage and WhatsApp. It connects and works very well with those two. Maybe not so much else, but I want to get into what the book says and what as I'm gearing up for this weekend, and you're thinking about all these things, and one of the things among them is, who do you want to be? Who do you want to be? And listen, this is from the Greatness Mindset book from Lewis Howes, and lists a better friend. What do you want to be? An entrepreneur, better friend, more involved citizen, better partner. And what small changes can you make every day to be that? And just little small excerpts from these books that I was reading on the flight to Columbus. One that stands out here. Simple thought: you don't need $1 million to feel like $1 million. I was just saying this the other day. I felt like $1 million when I took a shower and I drank plenty of water. This is a friend's thermos mug and everything. But yeah, drink plenty of water, take a shower. I felt clean inside and out, right? And I felt like $1 million. You don't need $1 million to feel like $1 million. So do what you can to feel great. Actions speak. This is another excerpt from the book excerpt. Stories we tell ourselves. We have to always keep in mind the stories we tell ourselves. So there's my flight alerts. Somehow I'm taking a screenshot of that. Anyway, I'm off to Columbus. This is last week. I'm doing the recap. Another wing shot. So you got to get that wing shot. And the first speaker of the day after arriving. We're here. We're greeted by all these signs, these speaker signs. And Inky Johnson is our first. But I want to backtrack a little bit, and I just want to read from notes that I took. It was the day one of my third time coming to take in the Summit of Greatness. In the morning, I asked myself and my fellow volunteers, how will I show up today? And what I will create. My thing that I came up with was presence, and boy was I present that day on the networking lawn. That's just what I'm referring to here, the networking lawn. And being behind the theater, overall making people feel welcome as a volunteer. I volunteered for this, first time volunteering. So, gave my all. So let's go. Day one. It was just that, it was just getting started. Friday morning session. Tomorrow's a much bigger day. So now we get to Inky Johnson's first speaker of the weekend at the Ohio Theater. Last one that was going to be in Columbus, Ohio. It's moving to LA next year. Next speaker. Let's see, what did I write down? I didn't actually write down too much for Inky Johnson. Lewis opened up, actually. And this weekend was all about taking leaps. And boy, was there some leaps. But spoiler alert. How do you choose between the many hobbies, the side hustles, the interests, the community, encouragement to fail? These things are just as I'm writing things down in my notes. And there was some books that was mentioned that I probably will be looking up and taking in. Think and Grow Rich as a Man Thinketh, which I actually have that book. You Were Born Rich, You Squared, Price Pritchett, all about take quantum leaps. Trying harder is not necessary to resolution to success. So, gave some 3 tips to start this weekend. Open your gifts that are dormant, that may be dormant. Make your move before you're ready, and fall in love with your own life. Gifts, talents, the world. Again, these are my notes as I wrote them down. So now we get to a few things I wrote down for Inky Johnson right here. Report cards. I didn't write down too much. He was kind of speaking fast. And don't be pushed by your problems. And the great thing about character is, the one thing I did take away from this that I did write down, the greatest thing about character is it is not inherited. It's going to take everything you got. Just sometimes start with the small changes. So that's Inky Johnson. That's my write down takeaways that I got from Inky Johnson. So move on to Vanessa, and she was talking about greatness and kindness. Longest list of people liked. She's talking about being liked and liking people, and how you actually find to like people and everything, to be likable, like more people. I like the one quote always by Dale Carnegie. If you want to be interesting, you got to be interested. If you're willing to hunt the good in others, we can't. If I can't read my own handwriting. Social autopilot, something we can't. If we're on social autopilot, we gotta build connection. And that the main thing she talks about was the 3 levels of intimacy, and some things that you should not actually talk about. You start with the level 1, level 2, level 3. Level 1 was general traits about occupation, home, recreation, hobbies, and these are the social scripts that most people actually do start talking about. So that's level 1. Level 2, can words change behavior? We start talking about that in level 2. Community, game, Wall Street. Again, sometimes these notes may not make as I write them down. Highlight of your day, personal passion project, excited about. I like to ask always, what are you excited about today? Today, right now. Level 2 continues personal concerns, goals, worries, motivating personality, what gets them up, socially courageous questions. Lewis talks about that in the latest chapter I just read. on a podcast episode I did and a book review. Socially courageous questions. You gotta always ask those questions, and you're asking them when you're in level 2. Are you learning anything? Biggest goal? What's your passion? How can I support you more? Listen to reasons to like them, to like people. Listen for reasons of why you should like people. And then there's level 3, and there's the self-narrative, how we define our journey through life, how we make sense of our journey through life. And there's the 3 different types: the hero, the healer, and the victim. What else did I write down here? Gotta look up her book Captivate, and I think there's another one too, but I wrote down Captivate. Write about darkness, and I just wrote down some sparingly notes here. Self-narrative, self-creating. Are you lucky? And answer should be no. Who could you be without negative stories? Be socially courageous. I like you. Just figure out ways to say I like you without withheld because of being rejected, maybe. But like, look for ways to always say I like you. Give permission for people to be themselves. Greatness equals kindness. 1 act of social kindness. I wrote down a lot for her. And then that's a slide you see there. Feels good to give likes. Flip nervous energy to excited energy. Trick your self-talk. No-nos. Don't ask what's your story. Extroverts love that, by the way. And my take on this, well, from all that, ask questions. Ask courageous questions. I should add that. Learning mindset. Have a learning mindset. Be a better listener. And then moving on to the next. I may not have these. Oh, yeah. You are good enough. She ended with this. You are good enough. You are likable as you are. And you are worthy. So there's me. At Summer Grace and some weird guy's eye behind me. Jaspreet Singh. Felt like a economics class, if you ask me. Putting people to sleep. But there's some good stuff you talked about. He had the balls, though, to talk about, bring up Michigan colors in Ohio State region and Ohio region. So there's that happened. So he asks and starts talking about where are you from, physical, emotional, practical, about money, growing up associated with money, not enough. Money was always not enough. You needed more, or you needed more of it. Now to flip that to say, now I can make more, practical side of money. Talking about the practical side of money. Money is a game. The game has changed. How can you improve the problem? What is stopping you from achieving financial goal today? Not consistent, diluted, and not being confused. I wrote down confused, but he has a book or podcast out called The Minority Mindset. That's a big takeaway there. Big wealth. Money is the things that we talked about money when we did. Money is bad. Not talking about money. Was a taboo topic. A bigger salary does not equal to more wealth. That's something I wrote down there. Money is just a tool. Money amplifies the intention of a person. Whatever, if it's good or bad, it amplifies the intention. And how does money play a part in your life? And then the 4 fitnesses of money was physical, mental, spiritual, and financial. Find what you don't like. Try things. The real wealth formula. Net zero thinking. He goes on talking about spend, invest, save. Invest assets and assets. Change mindset around money. If you can't stop thinking about something, don't stop working for it. And then Q&A. and the quick Q&A, the biggest takeaway. How can we make stuff, content to help people? How do you do with the money you make? Attract money, focus on you, not the news or the noise. And I won't get into character. Learn about took away. The best thing about it is not inherited. Character is not inherited. And what you set out to do will take everything you've got. Small changes included from Johnson's Vanessa Van Edwards was fire on the stage. My takeaways after that was be curious, find things to like people with social age, acts of kindness, liking, listening, eye contact, ask engaging questions, and attract money from Jaspreet Singh. Focus on you, drown out the noise, change your mindset around money from net zero thinking to invest in assets. If you can't stop thinking about something, don't stop working for it. So I'm just going to go through the summaries here because that was gold. I'm already at 16 minutes. So I wrote down my summary here. Here we go. Takeaways from the Saturday of Summit of Greatness. At Lewis House, tribute to Bob Proctor, the late Bob Proctor, by stating the importance of falling in love with you, remembering the future you. If I had something here, I can just show this real quick. And they put a picture of their lock screen with a little younger photo of them. And I had something on my phone already, and here it is. Maybe can't. It's dark. I gotta turn. It's on sleep. Hold on, let me get this off real quick so I can pull this up. The younger you, right there. And notice what I'm wearing right now. Trying to relive that photo. But remember, your past story is too painful. You can create different memories. Remembering the future you and have the future you acknowledge and appreciate the leap that the younger you took to propel the future you to where he is. And that was obviously the younger me. What I need to hear from my future self. Opportunities will find you when you're ready for them. All people are great. And find your inner child. Never let him go. Take the leap. Ignore the outside noise. Remember distractions that do not serve you from your life. Get quiet. Be quiet. And just do it. Don't say what you're going to do. Just do it. And just do it quietly. And you'll avoid the judgment of people. Like, you're doing that, really? Like, you just do it. Just do it quietly. Everything you need is here already. Scare yourself every day. Do it scared. And I kind of skipped around on that. There's Vanessa Van Edwards rocking out to some air guitar. Vanessa Van Edwards. Kind of skipped over this. There's me in the theater as Sunday. So I'm just gonna read my recaps. There's I like this. I took a photo of this. Be defined by a vision of the future instead of a memory from the past. Jen Sincero. I didn't write anything about Jen Sincero, huh? Maybe I could just, since she's up there. So real quick, Who's that? Oh yeah, he was mind blowing. So ignore the outside noise. She was saying that she's the one who actually said do it quietly. Nurture relationships with universal intelligence. Get quiet enough. Clean out. Change your thoughts. Change. No one wants to hear my ideas like that. Those are my thoughts to like everyone wants to hear them. People need to hear them. So that's what Jen Sincero, she author of You Are a Badass. Meet people where they're at. Meditating every day, becoming aware of thoughts. Go to spiritual gym. Listen to podcasts. Listen to Toastmasters. Go to Toastmasters. Love yourself. And accepting being okay. Let them be where they're at. So talk with Martha. That's his girlfriend now. In Max Major, he was a mind hacker. Blew some minds there. Go look up Max Major. FYI, Max Major. Look him up. So Martha, talk with Martha on relationships. It's always gold when they do like relationships at the Summit of Greatness. That light was actually out. The main thing she just talked about is the acronym of balanced. In relationships, you got to be yourself, be authentic. You got to be of acceptance. You have to have laughter, allowance, and make mistakes, flexibility, missteps. Got nurture is the next one for N. Commitment to the mission of the relationship, compassion, being curious. E is education about your partner, growth. And D is Dios, or God. So that was Saturday, ended with that. And, do I have a photo of it? There's the State House, the capital of Columbus. And there's the after party. Yeah, takeaways from the Saturday. Tribute to Bob Proctor, stating the importance of falling in love with you, remembering the future you have the, and I read this already, but opportunities will find you when you're ready. People are great. Find your inner child, never let them go. Take the leap. At the Summit of Greatness there. Everything you need is here already. Scare yourself and do it scared. Everyone has the love that they believe. Oh, Martha said this too. Everyone has the love they believe they deserve. And look at your story from an adult perspective. Martha. So now, and then I went over this on the Facebook video. I don't think I need to do this too much now. But Sunday, I decided that I would give myself plenty of time on the Sunday of the Summit Greatness Weekend to be able to help the volunteers with cleaning up, loading equipment to their transportation truck, sending everything back to LA. We wrapped the cleanup at around 11 a.m. And I also wanted then to make a final stop. Now, this would be either a 6-minute Uber drive or a 30-minute walk to White Castle. I had plenty of time, so I walked south for 30 minutes. Volunteering during this Summit of Greatness was so rewarding that I engaged, when I engage people, I set challenges to them to connect with others, set a goal of 5 people to connect with, and then they came back to me the next day or a few hours maybe with gratitude, and it totally made my day and weekend, this day from Thursday to Saturday when they would reconnect. I wrote down a bunch of things to wrap everything up. After making pilgrimage to White Castle, I had Uber to the airport, still had more time than I actually needed. It turns out you cannot check bags more than 4 hours prior to your flight. Southwest. Departure when flying Southwest. I do not like try different local breweries, so I took that time to sit in just a restaurant that's right there before check-in. Go at this restaurant in the airport. There was a restaurant and bar right there, so I went and tried some Kona Brewing Company, Big Wave Golden Ale. I liked it as walking back to see if it's time to check in. Ran into some of the greatness attendees that I had connected with at my first one. He was Sean. He was saying when you get checked in, find us. So after I checked my bags, I walked through security checkpoint and found them sitting at a Starbucks with Allie, who had a crazy story. You have to just connect with her, and I might share that stuff as well, but later on. But in Starbucks, something about some of the greatness Starbucks and meeting people from Summit. I was thinking that as I did in 2019 when I had connected with Marissa Peer, one of the speakers in 2019, one other found us, Allie, and we all talked there in inspiring conversation. Airports are a magical place after an inspirational weekend of new ideas, new people, new connections, and yet it ended up being even more of that in the airport terminal. Trying to read my handwriting. And it wasn't stopping there. As time was approaching to board, two others we came across. Started walking to my gate and our gate, of my flight, and saw more people than with another group that our group of 4 in the Starbucks re-encountered. So in total, I reconnected with a total of 8 people there in the airport terminal. That entire Sunday was yet another full day of experiences, even though the event concluded. Allow for and be open to things happening for you is a big takeaway. A lot of nuggets, ideas, connection, growth can come from it if you can just be open to connect. Rewarding experiences happened all because I chose it all. I chose to play all out. I chose to go all in and not be afraid to go for it. Being a grateful human in a society that expects you to want more is the ultimate act of rebellion. Live in the now, go for it. They told me I couldn't, that's why I did. Monday. Should I keep going now? I wrote more, but so that's the rewarding experience. That was me being back home, but I'm gonna stop reading from that. And the rewarding experience was hearing from the people who I challenged to connect and saying thank you so much for coming up to me and speaking to me and engaging me, and they came back to me later with gratitude, thankful, and receiving that just made my weekend. So that's some of the greatness 2023. Next year, Los Angeles Shrine Auditorium. Planning on putting in my hours and volunteering for that. Los Angeles, so it's close to downtown. That should be interesting. It should be fun. New place for this instead of Lewis's hometown of Columbus, Ohio. Now his new current home in LA. But that's it. That was the weekend that I had. Summon of Greatness 2023. Hope I didn't go on too long, and I'm going to stop it so I can be under 30 minutes.